Tommy Robinson's job is a journalist. He works for a company called Urban Scoop that is basically a media company, and he was arrested as soon as he left the cafe and started trying to do his job. This is an absolute scandalous abuse of police power. When you look at what's been happening in the UK in the past month, let's start at the beginning. Let's start at what this is really all about. On the 7th of October, violent, lunatic jihadists stormed into Israel, murdered men, women and children, women in front of their children, beheaded people, did the most savage attacks on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. And what we were at today was an event to stand in solidarity with the Jewish people and stand against anti-Semitism. Instead of that, the Metropolitan Police have turned this into an absolute circus. We've seen in the past month and a half people literally glorifying jihad on the streets of London, celebrating the murder of 1,400 Jews. We have seen the most vile anti-Semitic chants been made week after week after week on the streets of London. We've seen mass intimidation by Islamists, by Hamas supporters. We've seen groups like Hizb ut-Tahrir and the Muslim Brotherhood, who are banned in many countries, even in the Middle East, celebrating their ideology and preaching their vile ideology on the streets. We've seen footage from mosques. Preachers have been reading verses from the Hadith and verses from the Quran that denigrate Jews and call for the slaughter of Jews. That's what we've been seeing on the streets of London, on the streets of the United Kingdom in the past month and a half. And what happens? An independent journalist who has taken a stand against the very jihadists that carried out this attack, he has been violently arrested and we don't know where he's gone.
You read that right. Hizb ut-Tahrir are marching today in London. Just so you all understand who Hizb ut-Tahrir are, they're prescribed in most Arab nations as a terrorist organisation. Many European countries, they're prescribed as a terrorist organisation. Their goal, their words on their manifestos, is for an Islamic caliphate, world domination by Islam. You won't hear any politicians, you will not hear the media condemning, attacking them in any way. What they wait for is when English people oppose them, and then all the headlines are about far-right thugs and racists. These people openly want to dominate and take over our nation, our country, to enslave our people under the flag of Islam, under Sharia. That's what they want. That's their goal, okay? You won't hear a word about it. Our media are complicit. Our politicians are complicit. They hate you. They hate what we stand for. They hate our culture. They hate our identity. And they wish for the downfall of it. And they are facilitating it. Day in, day out. Okay? They don't care about you. So that's who Hizb ut-Tahrir are. And today, in your capital city, they're marching unopposed. With the full blessing of Sadiq Khan, of course.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu.
So I know you want him to be like Jesus. He can't.
I actually believe Muhammad is greater than Jesus.
No, not according to the Quran. Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus.
That's not true.
You want to bet? Okay, you want me to prove it to you? In the Quran, who's the greatest woman Allah created?
Mary.
Say it again.
Mary.
Oh, so Jesus' mother is the greatest woman, and yet Muhammad is greater than Jesus. According to Sahih Muslim, where is Muhammad's mother?
What do you mean, where is she? She died.
Where is his mother and father? Your prophet said they're in hell.
Who said that?
Your prophet said his father's in hell, and when your prophet went to pray for his mother, Allah said, do not pray for her forgiveness.
Where does it say that?
I'm going to say it to you. So I'm going to now use the Quran to show that Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus, because you said he's greater than Jesus. He's not good enough to lick Jesus' sandals. But I'm going to show it to you from your Quran. I'm not even going to use the Bible. Let me get you the hadith. Your prophet was weeping because when he went to the grave of his mother, he asked Allah to forgive her. And he said, do not ask for her forgiveness. And then he told another man, my father, Abdullah, and your father are in hell.
They probably were.
They what?
I said Muhammad's father probably was.
And what about his mother?
Possibly.
Okay, so wait. You just told me Muhammad is greater than Jesus, and yet Jesus' mother is the greatest woman that Allah created. Why?
Because she had this birth.
What does the birth have to do with Mary becoming the greatest of all women?
Without Jesus, Mary is not great.
Thank you. You just buried yourself. Yasu.
What do you mean?
In other words, because of Jesus, Mary became the greatest. Well, the only way she can be the greatest if he's the greatest. Thank you, Sue.
I see what you're saying.
Thank you. You got it now?
I see where you're coming from.
No, I used your logic. What was your logic? Your logic was?
Yeah, but Muhammad is greater.
Jesus made Mary the greatest woman, but Muhammad made his mother an inhabitant of hell. So Muhammad made his parents burn in hell. So let's go to your logic.
So his parents died by the time he was 6.
What does that got to do with anything? Why didn't Allah do for Muhammad what he did for Jesus?
Why? What he did for
Here's the hadith. Why didn't Allah do for Muhammad what he did for Isa? Why didn't he make Amina a believer and the greatest of all women?
because
What?
they lived in a pagan.
No, because according to your hadith, there were the Hunafa, like Waraq bin Nawfal. They knew the path because they knew about Christianity and Judaism. Don't give me that garbage. Doesn't work.
They're pagans.
Doesn't matter. Why didn't Allah guide her like he guided Waraq bin Nawfal to the right path? Because even before Muhammad, according to your Islamic tradition, the Hunafa, they were there before Muhammad and they were guided on the right deen and they renounced paganism. Why didn't your God do that for Amina like he did it for Jesus' mother? What?
Who's the Hunafat?
The Hunafar, Waraq bin Nawfal, Zayd ibn Amr, the people who found the correct deen before Muhammad. In your Bukhari, when Khadija wanted to confirm Muhammad wasn't demon-possessed, it says she took him to her cousin Waraq bin Nawfal, who in the days of Jahiliyyah became a Christian and wrote the gospel, and he confirmed the Namus came to him. And it says in your tradition, there was a group of them, the Hunafa, who left the paganism of the Kaaba and followed the true deen. So why didn't Allah do that for Muhammad's mother?
What was the true deen?
Following the path of the prophets, not the idolatry of the pagans. I just explained it to you.
Yeah.
Answer the question. Why didn't he do that for Amina?
I don't know. That's a question you're going to have
because
to.
Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus. Because I'm going to go by your logic, your words, and I'm going to show you the hadith. Let's go by your words.
The only reason why I say Jesus is lesser than Muhammad is for two things. We believe Muhammad is the most beloved to God. That's one.
That's a lie from the pit of hell.
Okay, I'm just saying that's what we believe. And the second thing is Prophet Muhammad is actually going to be the only prophet out of all the prophets to take away from our bad deeds, or not take away from our bad deeds.
That's a lie from the pit of hell. Just because you think he told you that means nothing, because what I'm showing you is Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus from the Quran. Now, let me show you here. Here's the hadith, Muslim. Just listen. Be patient, man. Because you said Muhammad is greater than Jesus, which is the most blasphemous thing you can say in light of the way he lived. But let's go with here. Sahih Muslim, I gave you the link. Abu Hurairah reported, the apostle of Allah visited the grave of his mother and he wept. And he wept and moved others around him to tears and said, I sought permission from my Lord to beg forgiveness of her, but it was not granted to me. I begged Allah, oh Allah, forgive my mother. He said no. And this is the most beloved to Allah, making him cry at the fact that his mother died and he didn't forgive her. And I sought permission to visit her grave and it was granted to me. So visit the graves, for that makes you mindful of death. This is Sahih Muslim. Here's the link. So I want to repeat your words. It's recorded. The reason why Mary's the greatest is because Jesus made her great. Well, if she's the greatest woman, because Jesus, that means he must be the greatest man. But your prophet Muhammad couldn't even make his parents great because they're in hell. You want to see where his father is? This is the link right there. I'm going to put it in private chat. This is from Muslim website, not mine. It's Sahih Muslim. Anas reported, verily a person said, Messenger of Allah, where is my father? He said, he is in the fire. When he turned away, he called him and said, verily my father and your father are in the fire. So Muhammad said, my father is in hell and my mother is in hell. Now I want you to be honest, because I'm going to show you why Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus. Don't be upset. Everyone's under the feet of Jesus.
Right.
Everybody. I'm under the feet of Jesus. You're under the feet of Jesus.
Right.
Muhammad is under the feet of Jesus because he's the son of God who's the Lord of creation. But here's what I'm going to ask you, and I want you to be honest. If you were living at the time Muhammad, be honest with me. I don't want you to lie. Fear God, because you believe you're going to stand before him. And Muhammad's companions came, or Muhammad came. Your mother's a widow, or your sister's not married, or your grandmother's not married. And they say, we're going to do muta. I'm going to marry your mother for 3 days and then divorce her and pay her. What do you call that? What do you call that?
That's prostitution.
You just called your prophet a prostitute because he allowed zawaj al-muta. Don't lie. Don't try to tap dance.
Look. So I did hear this in the Shi'i religion, but in the Sunni religion.
No, it's in the Sunnah. Your prophet in Bukhari and Muslim, I'm going to give you the hadiths based on Surah Al-Ma'idah 587. He allowed muta, then abrogated it. So I'm not saying you do it till this day. I'm saying at the time your prophet, when you, as a Sunni, believe he allowed it, then he canceled it later. So I'm not saying you do it today. That's why I asked you, if you're living at the time of your prophet and he had made it halal, acceptable, what do you call your prophet and his companions saying, go